Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Quantum Leap pre-market analysis and trade plan setup for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2014. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. We're coming up on our 5th anniversary next month. We are a private Skype group. If you're interested in checking us out, send me a Skype request at Doug_McKay, that's M-C-K-A-Y, and I will be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Of course, everything we're doing right now is being put up onto a new portal, which is stealthtrader.com, and you can send me an email at my email address at d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Each morning we come together and we take a look at the market, and we go from the macro to the micro, looking at the key numbers, then the trend, and then I get into some more in-depth chart analysis. And then we set up our hypotheses for the day and our trade levels and our targets for the day. Of course, before I do that, I do have to get legals done. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business for trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument this involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence and your own trade plan. Okay, so let's start with first. Well, let's go and take a look at gold, because I've been talking about this gold trade, and it's set up again this morning, and for some reason, I don't know why my data stopped. I've been talking about this, this trade level, and the fact that right now we're back in this this distribution zone, and what is the most traded price going back to the October the 24th, 2008. And I'm just doing a data restart on my data. Obviously, when I knocked over the router, it shut my system down. But we've been trading off of this 1305.30, and I've been saying if we come down and reject that 1305.30, that you get long back into 1315.90. But if we broke it, then you could get short into 1300, but more likely go down to that 1293, 1294 number, because that's where the composite was before it shifted up about a week and a half ago. So I was expecting to play some ping pong between these two levels. Right now we had a beautiful rotation down to 1305, broke it to the low side, and then when we broke back above, it was a beautiful long right into that 1315.90, and currently we're trading, I'm not sure exactly where we're trading. I'll have to wait for my system to complete its download. While we're doing that, let's just go and take a look at our numbers and get the macro out of the way. Of course, the big number above us is the 1978.25. I'm expecting that to be taken out today. We're going to open outside of value, outside of range. So the first thing we've got to look at is for initiative buyers to step in. But even if they don't step in, I think we'll get a rotational day with upside bias to make a new high, all-time high. Our month open is 1954.50. We're close to 25 or 26 points above that. So I think it's a little bit out of our range today. And of course, our month low is 1942.50. I think we clearly got this trend back intact. Nothing really jumps out in the macro numbers, so let's just jump over to the intraday numbers. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was a rotational day with an upside bias, and we got a rotational day with an upside bias. Make sure you're asking those 7 questions on the open so that you get a better understanding of what the auction is telling us and what type of day is being set up. So we opened in Globex yesterday at 1970.25, had a high of 71.50 and a low of 63.50, and then we opened in the RTH at 1966. We opened auction in range, in value, and we ended up having both the IBs to the upside and downside broken for a neutral day. Our opening swing, 2 3/4, another clue, greater than 2-point opening swing was giving us a rotational tendency. Our initial balance high, 67.75, initial balance low, 62.50. We broke both sides, 5 1/4 point range. Our intraday numbers yesterday, 67.75. It's right near that 1968 for the 1230 number, which 1968.50. I believe is our composite VPOC right now. Our RTH high 1970, our low 1959, our close 66.50. So we basically closed right near we opened, and our VPOC shifted to 1963.75. Value area was higher, a lower high at 68.75, but a higher low at 62.75. Now, I was expecting to go up and at least have that rotation up to take out the naked close at that 70.75 and hit that CHVN and naked VPOC at 71.25 area. We didn't quite get there. We got to 70 and we stalled out. If you were watching the dome yesterday, there was somebody that was in the market that was either accumulating or liquidating, but he had us bracketed, okay, between that 60 area and that 67 area, and he was throwing some big orders that were going through. Volume yesterday, 1.1 in the RTH, 1.4 in the Globex, and of course we did break the IB to the low side first, just inside that first pocket at 938 for our time study on the initial balance. Going over to the daily report, our resistance 1 right now is at 71.83. We've broken above that on the daily. Resistance 1 on the weekly is 1985.33, and our pivot today is 65.42. But we've made the move in the Globex. They kind of stole some of the trade. Good thing that we've got the swing position and running long right now. Our 20-day ATR targets with the full session high. Let me just check to see where we are, make sure we didn't make new highs. 76 is still our high. So full session high 76, full session low 65.25. So our 20-day ATR targets 1979.98, call it 1980 to the upside. That is one of the measured moves that we're looking at, and to the low side 1961.25. Looking at the news today, we've got core CPI that gave us a little bit of a move, certainly gave us the move on gold. We've got in about 6 minutes, we've got HPI. All these times are in Central, so this is 9 Eastern. And then at 10 Eastern and 9 Central would be the big news this morning with the existing home sales and our Richmond Manufacturing Index. So watch that first half hour of the trading. Okay, let's take a look and go over to our trends. First of all, we still have this this head and shoulder pattern on the 30-minute that is still in play here with the measured move up to 98, 92. I think it was Mate that actually measured it on the lower neckline, which was fine. I always prefer being conservative on these patterns, and his measured move was 92, which is on mine is the 78.6 fib extension. But either or, we still have this pattern intact. Going over and looking at the trends, you can see the monthly is very much still intact. Great slope, great separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA, and prices parallel. We've got a little bit of a technical gap going on the monthly with this move up, and that's that would be normal within this situation, because I think we're going to see this blow off top. Same thing with the weekly. We came down and tested the 9 EMA, but we got great slope and separation. The trend is very much intact on the weekly. Going over to the daily. Daily, again, we had a little bit of weakness, and we had that Thursday, sell-off and on the Ukraine news and Israel, and then of course Friday, everything was hunky-dory, and so far now we've been holding above the 9 and the 20, and the trend remains intact on the daily. Going over to the geometric chart, you can see that we've broken back out of the downward sloping fork, and we hit that energy point, and now we're back inside the short-term upward sloping fork. A retest of the lower line of that fork will bring us down to 1967.25, but I'd be looking for a move up to test the upper line, and that's going to give us a move up to around 1986, 1987 area. And if we get a little bit further, we can even test the center line of this smaller time frame fork at 91 area, and that's that measured move to 90, 92, which Mike put into the room yesterday. Thank you for the contribution, by the way. Quantum Leap is all about self-organized learning environment. We want everybody to participate. We believe in wisdom and counsel is what I always say. All right, so going into the intraday, just to see what trends we've got going into the RTH session. You can see we've got this big move up on the 4-hour, and we're starting a trend, but likely going to create a technical gap. And it'll be interesting. What we have to look for is whether or not we get an open drive or an open test drive to come down and test that range high from yesterday. Going down to the 30-minute, same thing. We've got a trend intact, a bit of a technical gap right here, closed it through time, and then we rejected the 9 EMA, and we went up and continue to keep this trend intact. And just going down one more level, down to the 5-minute, you can see again the trend. We have the trend starting and intact on the 5 minutes. So we've got a good rally going. If we get below this 1974 level, we could come back and get a half gap fill, and that half gap fill is going to be roughly around 1970.50. But let's go over to the composite and the volume profile. First of all, I always like to review the prior day, so we'll go down and take a look at yesterday's day. Where's my other chart? Is this it? Yeah, there it is. I didn't name it. So yesterday we opened auction in range, and we were the two levels we were watching on the open was that 68, 69 area, and then down here at this 64.25, which was that CLVN. And we said if we broke below that, we'd look for a move down to the 59. We hit our target. We had a beautiful Mr. Sneaky step in right after hitting target, and then we rallied back the rest of the day, and we grinded it out. We had a rotational day with an upside bias. Now, when we got up here, I thought, okay, we're trying to to get above that 69 level, and if we could, we'd get to the 71. They got out, but like I said, somebody was liquidating here and keeping us bracketed into the close. There were some huge orders and some huge prints going through, so we kind of stalled out, but overnight, what do? They go up and hit that, those targets. So let's go take a look at the big picture and start moving and looking at what the market's possibly going to give us today. So let me just bring up my composite. So we're back in this main balance, okay, back up here, and the microcomposite VPOC is 67.50. We've just broken out of the the value area high at 1973 and currently trading in around that 74.75. Now, the bigger picture of this whole move up from the gap, okay, going back to 05/27, the date I keep going back, which started this rally up. Now, the value area, okay, is in the upper distribution up here, and the value area high is this 1975. It was 75.50. It's now shifted one tick to 75.75. With the microcomposite VPOC at that 1952.75, 53 area. So the key level today on this open, okay, is whether or not we're going to go and break above this 75.75, because anything above 75.75 clearly puts us into price discovery on the longer term and will likely give us a move to take out the all-time high at 1978.25. But we could get stuck in the wicks today, and we had a neutral day. Remember that when you have a neutral day, it's a possibility that that you're going to get a neutral day followed by a neutral day. And we've got some wicks here between, basically I would say between the 76 or call it 75.75 and the 71.75. We've got this unauctioned territory right here, and I always am cognizant of the fact when we get into an area that is all wicks. This basic area, from here to here, okay, you can, they're going to re-auction this territory and mature the auction. Now, the smaller microcomposite that runs from, really should run from there, it should be running from here. The value area high on that is 1972.25. So really, I'm looking at this bracket between 72.25 and 75.75 for a possibility of getting stuck in the wicks. Just be cognizant of that fact today. So let's take a look at this, the intermediate and overnight. So currently, right now, our overnight high is up here at 76. And our overnight low is all the way down at 65. And currently our VPOC, which is not likely going to shift, but it could shift up into the 74 area. But right now it's 72.50. And we've got a key LVN, okay, which was where we were struggling to break out of yesterday, okay, at that 69.50, which is just below the range high at 70. So mark this down on your chart as a key overnight LVN at 69.50. That's basically all we need from there. Let's just go through and take a look at what we've got. So we're going to open outside of range and outside of value, okay? And we've got this this 74. A half gap is going to be roughly. Let me just, if we open up right here and 66.50. Yeah, half gap is going to basically give you a move down to test the 70 range. The 70.25 is the half gap if we opened up right here. But more importantly, we've got that naked close at 71.50 and the naked VPOC at 71.25. So really, what I'd be doing here is I'd be using this 75.75 and really 76 area, okay, and this this 72 area as my opening trade area. 72.75. Is it 70? No, it is 72. I didn't want to move that. Come on. I got to get rid of this here for a second. Okay, and then our overnight VPOC was what was our overnight VPOC? Sorry, 72 something.
I show 50.
72.50. Thank you. All right, and this is going to look a little bit convoluted because, what we're going to be watching for is we're going to watch the open and we're going to see if we get an open drive. Do we get initiative buyers stepping in and we get an open drive going straight up into the 76, taking out the overnight high? and breaking above that 75.50. If that happens, okay, don't try to fade the 75.50 area. I wouldn't try to get short on this. But if we get two-sided action on the open and they come down and they test the 72 area and reject it, look for a rotation back up into the 75.50 area and a takeout of the overnight high. And then I look at the possibility of a rotation back down again. So it's going to be a difficult open, even though it's an open auction out of range. It's going to be difficult because we've got this key level just above us, and it's all going to be determined on what the market on open orders are going to give us. If we break below the 72 area, then you can go ahead and get short because we're likely to go down and take out the 71.50 and the 71.25 and test the range high and complete the half gap fill. So this is going to be the other trade area below us here. And I know this is tight, but I just want you to know how to trade it. Okay, with an open drive. Okay, it's going to be difficult to get in unless they unless they just blow right through. If they blow right through that 76, get long into 78.50, as your first target and the takeout of the all-time high. But if you get two-sided trading, okay, then you can take the rejection of the 76, but it's got to be clear that it's not any type of an open drive. An open test drive is okay because they could come up here first, then come down here and reject the 72 and then go up and take it out. Remember, the hypothesis is we're still going to go and make and take out that all-time high for the day, but we could have that possibility of getting stuck in the wicks, and that's why I'm looking at this area right here. Anything below 1970 puts us inside a range, okay, and you'd likely come down and test the LVN from overnight at 69.75, and more likely this value area high here at 68.75. So the first target inside of range is going to be the value area high, and of course, this would be a target. You can also use it as an entry as well. If you break inside of value, then look for the naked, takeout of the naked close at 66.50. That'll be our second target inside of our first target inside of value, second target inside of range, and a takeout of the overnight low and a push through to take out the naked V pocket. At this point in time, if we get below that that 68 level and inside of value, look for the 80% value area rule and destination trade down to the lower side of balance down here at 63. Remember, that inside of value, you got to be in there for 2 TPO counts. And then, of course, if we break below that value, which I don't think is likely, I think the buyers are clearly in control here. Look for a move back to that 1959 level again, and a move down into the CHVN and a test of the range low at 1959. Anything below 1959. Okay, then we're coming down and we're coming back towards this key CLVN at 56.25, and below 56.25 we've got the naked close at 54, and of course the big target down below. And if we get back below this 56.25, I think the rally is going to fizzle out, and we're going to get moved all the way back down here to the 52.75 area. But I'm not expecting that today. But we have to prepare for anything in this market. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's just take a look at how it's setting up on the upper, on the Renko. We've got a walk the line going right now. The test of the upper line is going to take us up into that 76.50 and take out of the overnight high. Come back and test the center line. Takes us down to that 70-75 area, more likely by the time we get there, a test of the range high and that half gap fill. Below that, if we get below the center line A move down to take out the lower or test the lower Keltner line is going to take us down into the overnight low and that 1965.25 area. And so it sets up pretty nicely there. Let's go and take a look at the Russell. I'm probably going to do this. I've already done my Russell analysis and posted it in the room, but not everybody can see that. Let's just do. How am I doing for time? I'm pretty good for time right now. Okay, so Russell Globex. Okay, so right now we've got a overnight high in the Russell at 1151.80. We've got a low all the way down at 40.80. And our current VPOC is 49.50. Come on. Okay, so, and, we've got a very toothy profile, and there's really nothing here that I really pay attention to. We can just get rid of that and look at the composite. Now, on the composite, and I drew this and put it in the room last week, and I crashed my computer, so let me just bring, what's the best way to do this? You know what, I'm just going to draw a new profile. Come on. You know what? It's going to be easier to do this. I'm just going to bring up the drawing itself. Oh. Just give me a second here. Okay. All right, so this makes it easier. Can everybody see that picture? Is that showing up?
Yeah, we see it.
Anybody? Okay. So this is the chart that I posted back not this Sunday just past, but the Sunday prior for the week of the 14th. And what we're talking about is we've got clear, distribution and accumulation zone. So the accumulation zone value area high was right here at this 3620, which is right near, it's shifted slightly. It's no longer 3750, it's 3680, I believe. But that separates the value area high from the accumulation zone, where the microcomposite VPOC is all the way down here at 111640. That 111640 is also our composite VPOC going back to 2013, the October the 9th swing low 2013. But up here inside of the accumulation, the distribution zone, we've got to look at the value area low and the VPOC. And the VPOC is up here at this 1168.20 with the value area high here at 1184.30. So, we're clearly, getting back inside. If we can get above this, what is it currently right now? It's 50-30. If we can get back above this 50-30, then we're clearly in the value area of the upper distribution, and we're likely to get a move first up to this 52.70, which was the 5-day microcomposite VPOC here, but more likely continuation through to that 59.10 CHVN and former microcomposite with the big target above us at 1168.30. and then possibly a continuation up to test the other side of the balance around 68.30 at the CLVN at 76 and that former microcomposite VPOC at 77. The big number above there is that 1180. Now, I'm not expecting a move up to 1180 today, but I am looking at the probability. Let me just get the right charts up here again. Come on. With that, we're going to open outside of range and outside of balance again, and the half gap fill is, I thought I wrote that down. I didn't. Let's see what we got here. The close was 42, and we're currently trading, call it 48.40. So the half gap fill takes us down to 45.20. Which is going to basically, again, see how it's setting up very similar to where we are within the ES. We're both are opening outside of range and outside of value. Both have naked close and naked VPOC just below us and key levels above. So that trade area here has got to be that 50-30 value area low from the distribution zone value area. And then you've got just below that, you've got this 45.60, which is just going to be above this 44.90. I don't think there's enough room there. So what I would do is I'd be using this, looking for a move down to test the range high. So we've got to look at the same scenario. We could get an open drive and a move up through that 50.25 and a takeout of the overnight high and a continuation up towards the first target above us, which is going to be that 52.70. And then possibly, a bigger move up to the other side of that balance. 54.60 would be the first resistance above that. And then anything above 54.60 gives us a clear shot at that 1959.10 again. And then above that, if we get above that, we've got this, pretty blunt area of the profile with the CHVN at 65.50. Come on. But of course, the big number above us is going to be the 68.30 and the microcomposite VPOC. With the naked close up at 1170.80, and then the big resistance right now is going to be up at that 76.30. All right, so that's what I'm looking at on the top side. Of course, if we get responsive sellers stepping in here and holding us below that 50.25 area, then I'm looking for them to move down to take out that 47.50. It's right there at the CHVN at 1147.60, and a move to close the half gap at 45 and test the range and taking out that naked close. Inside of range, I'm really not going to put a lot of weight on this 44.20 because I really believe if they get inside a range, they're going to go back down for that 42.50, and the key area, the LVN from the prior day, which are overnight, we had an LVN at 1141, but yesterday we had a LVN at 1141. Overnight, they went down to that 1140.80 just below it, and then the VPOC is all the way down there at 1140.90. And the buyers clearly stepped in to hold us in this upper distribution of the double distribution day from yesterday. So I'd be looking for a move down to that area again to test it and take out the overnight low and test that LVN what, in the process taking out the naked VPOC and the naked close at 42. This 42 level, we get back down there. I think they're going to push through it. But the key level for me is this 3680, because that 3680 tests the value area high of the accumulation zone. And if we break below that, then we've got to look for a move all the way down. And this time I don't think, we came down to that 1123.80 the other day. I don't think we hold there. I think we come down right back to the main VPOC, the composite VPOC down here at 1116.40 in that 1120 area. But so I'd be watching the 36 level more than I'd be watching the value area low 36 area, and then of course below that first target below is going to be the range low at 34.90, and then anything below 34.90 takes us down to the first target, which will be the 1130.60. But I'm not expecting that today. But we always prepare an if-then-that strategy, so we're not thinking about it after the fact. And here we are testing this 1150 even before the open. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, we can take a quick look at the Keltner on the Russell too. See how it sets up. Oops. So test of the upper Keltner right now. We'll take out the overnight high and test the upper Keltner line, 1151.70. Keltner center line is 49.50, just below the key microcomposite value area low of the distribution zone, and then inside of that, a move down to the lower Keltner. We'll take out the naked VPOC here at 1147.40. That's how it looks on the Keltner. It fits with our levels, so we're all good. So that's going to complete our morning market session for the day. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Hopefully I didn't confuse too many